Hi everyone, I thought I'd just make this quick video in response to something which some of you may have seen online recently. So the other day in Times Square in New York, a billboard was put up claiming that buying fake fur is environmentally damaging, and particularly to the oceans, and that buying real fur is the more eco-friendly, more sustainable option. Now this is something that's been peddled by the fur industry a lot more recently, especially since the ethical implications with buying real animal fur has become more widely known. But there are two questions I'm going to be answering in this video. First of all, is buying real fur more environmentally friendly than buying fake fur? And secondly, is buying real fur sustainable at all? Is it eco-friendly at all? So in this video I'm going to be presenting all the evidence which should answer both of those questions. Now I'm going to start by quickly debunking what this billboard is saying here. You see, yes, fake fur does contain synthetic materials which may be damaging to the environment, but the crazy thing is real fur often contains these same synthetic materials with real fur mixed in with them. So I think it's quite incredible that the industry has been allowed to get away with, you know, calling out fake fur for using these materials when they themselves are using those exact same materials. I mean, it seems a bit weird to me, but anyway, let's move on with the video because there's a lot more to cover. Now, to understand my next point, you need to bear in mind what real fur actually is. It is the fur that has been ripped off the backs of animals. Therefore, inevitably, the process of putrefaction or rotting is going to start taking place straight away. Now, in order to combat this, the fur industry will apply chemicals such as formaldehyde, chromium and ammonia to the fur. Now, these are all carcinogenic chemicals, and in the video description I'm going to link a couple of studies to show this link. But there's an environmental issue there as well. In fact, the World Bank ranks the fur trade in one of the world's top 5 worst industries for toxic metal pollution as a result of this. But that's not the only issue. Another thing that many people aren't aware of is that 80 to 85% of all fur products come from animals that have been factory farmed. Now, if you're not aware, factory farming is inherently unsustainable for the planet. Now, I'm not going to go into this too much, but I am going to leave a link in the video description to an article that briefly sums this up. But I have got a few statistics here with regards to, you know, fur farming specifically. Now, each mink produces around 44 pounds of feces in his or her lifetime, which adds up to around 1 million pounds of feces produced by mink in US fur farms alone. And between 40 to 80 mink are required to produce one full-length fur coat. So you can imagine the scale of this. And then once the fur has been ripped off of their bodies, the carcasses will often be dumped in landfills as well. So there's a massive issue there. And if you still have any doubts over the environmental unsustainability of the fur trade, here's another interesting fact. There are certain countries like Belgium and Canada, for example, where the fur trade legally cannot label their products as environmentally friendly. So it's ridiculous that in some countries they cannot legally use these labels, whereas in other countries like the US, they can actually have these misleading billboards, you know, up for everyone to see. Now, this just shows the desperation that the fur trade is in at the moment. More and more luxury designers are ditching fur all the time. More and more countries are banning fur farming, and there are quite a few cities, particularly in America, that are looking to ban the sale of fur altogether. But that's basically a short summary of why the fur trade is not environmentally friendly, contrary to the myths that they're trying to peddle to, you know, to reverse the decline in their sales, which is happening at an alarming rate as far as they're concerned. So please feel free to share this video around with anyone who happens to believe these myths. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter. Like I said, I'll link the studies in the video description with regards to the chemicals and how they are linked to cancer, and also the article around that talks about factory farming and the impact that has on the planet as well. It goes into a lot more detail than what I described in this video. It's definitely worth a read if it's not something you're particularly clued up on. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.